I don't know why, every time I try to record a video out here in the garage, there's just the excess of noise from airplanes to neighbors, etc. Alright, it's your boy, Mr. J Cam. Welcome back to the channel. Like I said, today we're talking about the Yamaha ride control system, so let's go ahead and get right to it. Long press to get in there. Then you get your YRC settings. And you get in here and we see we have lift, quick shift down, quick shift up, launch control, slide control, traction control, power, and YRC preset modes. Right now the bike is in C mode. And that's the settings that you see. For the lift, it's your wheelie control, basically. It must be on to use launch control on this bike. And it has, as you see there, 3 modes, with one being the least intrusive, meaning it allows the front wheel to come up the most, and it decreases the front wheel lift height as you go down. Then we have quick shift down. It's a simple on or off, but it is independent of the quick shift going up, which has 2 settings. Quick shift 1 is for track and like canyon or back road spirited rides, according to Yamaha. Number 2 is just for your casual cruising. But I don't think I've ever taken mine out of one to see the difference, honestly. Next up, we had a launch control system. Like I said, in order for it to be operational, lift has to be on. It has 2 settings. Level 2 is a little bit more aggressive in helping you control the launch compared to level 1. Then we have slide control. And you see the settings there, it goes through 3. We have traction control, which goes all the way through 9. And if you say change it to 9 and you forget what setting it was before, then you see how it's highlighted up there in that gray background. Number 5, that's how you know the default in YRC. So we'll boom, we'll just go put it back. Default power mode is 3. D is like in rain mode. So we'll get a good look at the settings there for a second. Everything is pretty much safe. Power is cut way back. The acceleration is completely different. Then we already went over C mode. Then we have B mode, which is what I use for like more spirited rides. Launch control is off right now on B mode, but I'm gonna take that and turn that on. And then we have A mode, and launch control is on as well. And you can see the various settings, all of which are fully customizable. And then, like I said, if you make a change, then you make a change to one of the settings, you forget the one that's highlighted with the gray background, like launch control right now has that gray box around the off. That's the default setting for the mode if you ever forget. Then you can change the display mode, street to track. So first, let's get a good look at the street mode. So you see you can cycle through your trip, temperature, odometer, things of that nature, fuel mileage. Then you have like a brake meter there. That's what's going up in the blue, the power on the brakes. And then if I was accelerating, you would see that gimbal to the right go, or if it was accelerating, it would come backwards. Give you a little idea of kind of what the bike is doing. Across the top, it tells you what electronics you have on. So we see quick shift up and down is enabled, as well as lift control. If I click that up in the B mode, did I turn lift off? So A mode, boom, you got launch control, lift. Let's go see what's going on with B mode really quick, because we should have the same settings. Lift is off. That's what happened. I turned lift off. So the default for B is lift 1. So we'll go ahead and turn that back on and get launch control. Turn back on. Exit. And now we have the same icon. So this is in the street mode. Now let's come in and change the display. Track mode. Immediately, there's a lap timer in the middle of the screen. RPM start at 8 grand. The gear indicator is much bigger. Miles per hour is not as prominent down there in the corner. And then you have the modes and electronics on. You can go through your average lap time, fastest lap time, still get the fuel average and consumption and trip and temp. But this is your more track oriented screen. So that's the difference between street and track mode. Put it back in street. Now I noticed that traction control, we have a setting for it, right? Well, I told you it's 9 modes. And with traction control, when it's turned off, launch control, lift control, and slide control automatically come off. So how do you turn the traction control off? There's this mode switch right here in the middle of the handlebar. So like this is where you change the different modes for anybody that don't know. But in the middle of that, there's a button that says mode. So we'll go back here. Now press till you get traction control 3. We're gonna go all the way up until we have 1. Now we're gonna hold the up button. Traction control is off. Now, and you see slide control, lift control, and launch control also went away like immediately. Okay, so we got traction control off. Now to turn it back on, you just click down at least once. And notice slide control, lift control, and launch control come back. But the default value is 1. It doesn't come back on to the preset value. So let's go back into YRC and make sure our defaults are set for B mode. And it looks like the only thing that's out of place is the traction control setting of 3 and launch control, but that's by our own doing because we turned that on. So this is just a quick video about the YRC and the functions of some of the systems for anybody that doesn't know. Your bike doesn't have electronics, or you're just curious in general about the system on the Yamaha. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Anything else you want to see, and I'll be sure to get back to you and get you a good answer on that. But until then, ride safe. Thank you for checking out my channel. It's your boy, Mr. J Cam. Peace.